Hello and welcome back to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. So in today's video, I'll be talking about how to make the perfect portfolio as a software developer. So you should be having this clear that your portfolio does not have to be super fancy or complicated. In fact, the simpler the better. Recruiters and hiring managers, they have to go through so many portfolios every day. They don't have the time to spend hours on each one. So your goal is to make your portfolio more simple, clear and impactful. So, the first and foremost thing your portfolio should contain is an about section. This is where you talk about yourself, who you are, why you got into programming, and maybe a quick mention of your hobbies or interests to make it more engaging, right? Keep it personal, but always make it professional, right? You should be having your contact information. That's probably the most important part in your portfolio. Make sure that people can reach out to you if they want to, and definitely include your email. That's the most formal form of communication, right? A phone number is optional because it can attract spam calls. So that's the most important part, your contact information. Number three thing that you should be including in your portfolio is your technical skills. List your key technical skills here, but don't overload it with each and every language that you have learned in the course of your college and even before that, each and every framework that you have experience in. Include the ones that you like, include the ones that you would like to work on again, highlight the ones that you are confident with. And if you are applying for a specific role, and then you might try to match that with the job, but again, you have the resume to do all of that, right? So moving on to number four, that is your social profiles, which I have already mentioned. You should be including your GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket link, whatever you have, and of course your LinkedIn. So basically wherever you're active in the developer community. So if you contribute on Stack Overflow or write tech content elsewhere, you can include that as well. So make sure you have an active LinkedIn profile, an impressive GitHub contribution graph. Make sure that you have valuable projects in your GitHub section, because companies which are software development oriented, they do stress a lot on your GitHub portfolio, right? Then you can also include about the achievements that you have had in winning coding contests, hackathons, publishing your own articles, your own papers, right? So this is a place that you can show off, and rightly so, because it is your own portfolio. So whatever you have achieved in your college years or even before, you can explain that in detail over here. And last but not least, include your link to your resume. So recruiters and HRs, they love having a downloadable copy. They can share or print. So make sure that your portfolio is not your resume, right? Include a link to your resume through your portfolio, right? So if we are gonna stress about the projects that you mentioned in your portfolio, if you have worked on professional projects, by professional projects I mean client projects, if you worked at a company or even during a coding boot camp, you can share those projects in your portfolio. So you can share links, you can share screenshots, you can share a short description of the tech stack that you have used, of the role that you played in the project, right? So if the project is live, then make sure that you drop the link to the project. And if you are currently starting out and you don't have so much experience in working outside your in companies, then you should be including your personal projects, right? And that's totally fine. So show the things that you have built on your own, your web app or an automation script or anything that demonstrates your skills, right? And always share the code, the source code, on GitHub. And if you have a proper documentation of your project, then better. And make sure that if you are able to deploy, if your project is complete, then make sure that you can deploy it and you can share the link to your deployed projects, right? This is the list of things that you should be mentioning in your portfolio. The most important part after you've made your portfolio and you're confident with it is to host your portfolio so that it's publicly available with your HRs and recruiters, right? So, if you are a backend or a full stack developer, the best option is your own domain. Setting up your own server, deploying your portfolio, it's a way you can actually showcase your skills. But otherwise, feel free to host on GitHub pages, GitLab, or Bitbucket. It works perfectly fine too. Uh, so make sure that your link is always up and running. um, your portfolio should not be breaking, because that kind of conveys a bad impression. So go ahead, build your perfect portfolios. So if you are liking my content, then please like, share and subscribe to my channel. I do post a lot, quite regularly, about companies who are currently hiring for internship and job roles, and especially for college students who are on the lookout for these. So go ahead, subscribe to my channel. Hope you guys are having a great day. See you in my next video.